Well, John, finishes 1-1. Just give us your assessment of the performance.
I didn't like the game. It was reminiscent of a rugby union game, to be honest. And I'm not laying that at both sides. Both sides were just playing for throw-ins and throw-ins into the box and set plays into the box. Wasn't a lot of quality played. I think it's a little bit of nervous energy for both teams, to be honest. But I think both teams can play better than that. Not much goal mouth action at all. Jimmy had a good little run and just fizzed his shot wide. And then they've had a double chance where Glenn's made 2 great saves and Tyler Watton's missed a good chance for him. But that's the sum total of goal mouth incidents in the first half, and then we go to sleep from a free kick and good ball in, a good finish by their lads. So 1-0 up, and then it's a different team. So 10 seconds before half time. But I think we took control of the second half. I think we played the game more in their half. Very, very sporadic attacks from Accrington in the second half. And that's down to how well we defended and how much we worked hard to try and get second balls and force them back, and we did force them back. We had lots of entries into their box, but not troubling their goalkeeper. And that's what's plagued us all season. And we've got to be better when we're in and around the box. We've got to make better chances. And it's all right sitting bemoaning the lack that we're not scoring goals. Our forwards have got to be better, but we've got to provide them with better service, and that was lacking, and it has been lacking all season, to be fair, if we're honest, and certainly since I've came. So I'm not what's the word? I'm not absolved of any blame for that. So, but we've got to keep working at it. We've got to keep working at being positive in front of goal. Great move for the free kick after we wasted 2. So the presence of mind that the 2 of them had to be able to execute that, and then a strike by Max was fantastic. I must admit, I seen a white feather on the pitch before the game, and I think Jimmy picked it up actually. And I did say a prayer to me late mum and dad and me late mother and father-in-law. And when Litz had chopped it to Max, I'm thinking, Mum, what are you doing? And then obviously he's finished it off. But I think in the balance of the play, I think we deserved a draw. Probably not much more than a draw, if I'm honest. Got to thank our fans. They were magnificent coming again in the numbers. It's an arduous trip. And I'm glad they were rewarded with a little bit of happiness at the end. Great scenes of celebration when we scored, and I was just thinking we could nick it when we got another free kick going in the box. That would have been heaven. But we move forward. It's another point on the board, another point closer to getting to probably the 46, 47 mark that will see us safe. But then we've got to start focusing on a style of football that can be. It's got to yield better attacking options. If you want to go with the new buzzword, better XG, but we've got to start looking more dangerous. And I'm not going to try and smoke screen or anything. I don't like that type of football. We've been sort of not forced into playing it, but we're playing the cards that we've been dealt. But I'd like us just to be improve in and around the attacking areas. I must say the subs did well when he come on. Everyone of them had an impact in the game. Jacob Wakeland, considering he hasn't kicked the ball in anger for the first team for probably 3 or 4 months. I think he came on, he looked lively, looked a handful. Nev came on and did what Nev does, unsettle their back 4 or back 3, sorry. And Nelson was bright. Johnny springing up, winning headers, that like a little jumping jack, and then Max was very composed when he came on. So it's nice when this is 2 weeks running now that the subs have made an impact. And I know you leave yourself wide open. I didn't make subs against Newport, and there was a reason behind it. But it's pleasing when the whole squad is pulling in the right direction.
Thank you very much indeed. Ben, all yours.
John, I know you didn't want this game to be about you, but of course it was always going to be to a degree. How happy are you to take something from the game with that regard?
Well, it wasn't just to be about me, it was me and Jimmy. You know, me and Jimmy have been a big part of this for a long, long time. It would have been disappointing to come here and not win, and not get a result, sorry, or to lose, more to the point. It would have been very disappointing. And yeah, I got a bit emotional at the end, to be honest. It was nice that, you know, that the tributes that the fans paid to us, and you know, we've got a job to do at Gillingham, and we're doing our very, very best to do it, and we are very, very passionate about Gillingham, and it's nice to look back now and again, and you get some fond memories coming back here. I didn't want to come, to be honest. If I could have managed from my armchair on the telly, I would have done. But having been here now, I'm pleased with the reception that we got, and I'm pleased that it's over with tonight.
Yeah, I thought you got a lovely reception, and the banners as well around the ground. It was a very poignant indeed, and a really good reception as you walked off at the end. I guess the game in itself, as you say, pretty bitty at times, pretty scrappy, and a tale of two stoppage time goals at the end of either half. I guess both teams will be pretty disappointed that you conceded them, really.
Well, both teams will be disappointed that they switched off, because we switched off for their goal and they switched off for our goal. And probably ours was more routine. The goal that they scored, our switch off was more routine. You know, that one, it's a clever bit of play. Everyone's expecting them to shoot. You know, even I was, even my mum was. So I've got to take my hat off to them too, because, you know, it was being calm under pressure, which is the sign of a good football, or good footballers.
In terms of their goal, I think it was giving away the free kick, missing away a clearance, losing the man. It was kind of one individual error after the other, wasn't it?
I mean, we let them get the balls on, and we let them get possession before we fouled them, if it was a foul. I'm not too sure about that, but then you've got to deal with the ball in the box. It was a low ball. They'd scored a similar goal in midweek, so we knew, you know, Ben Woods has got good delivery, so we, you know, can't take that away from him. And from their point of view, it's a well-worked goal. Disappointing for us, we've conceded from a set play, because we're normally very, very good at defending from set plays.
And as you say, a lovely moment for the travelling fans to get that late stoppage time equaliser. I don't know if Max Clark's thumping many of those in training as such, but a rare goal from him.
I did speak to him during the week, actually, saying, you know, come on, you should be chipping him at more goals. I asked him the last time he scored, and I don't think he could remember. No, I think it was last year. So
maybe Notts County last season.
Yeah, I think it was last season. But I said, you know, man, Hutt should be the positions that they're playing, they should be chipping him at more goals. Hutt's got more advanced in the second half today, and, you know, could have done a little bit better with one or two of the incidents that he got into. But yeah, it was a fantastic finish by Max.
Yeah, third time lucky from those free kicks, as you mentioned, with the other two that hit the wall. Yeah, other than that sort of Jimmy J Morgan chance first half, and you started brightly first 15 minutes, you know, again
we were just limited to putting balls in the box. We had plenty of corners and throw-ins, but we didn't pick the second ball up like we did last week. And that's the difference in this league. You know, I've said all along, teams in this league will give you chances. We're just not, at this moment in time, we're not capitalising on the opportunities that we get, and we're not getting enough opportunities, and that's our own fault. That's no one else's but our own fault, and that's something that we've got to work on. Now, you know, we maybe have to change the shape, but we have to start, particularly at home, and we are a bit better at home, to be fair. But we've got to start getting the crowds on the edge of the seat, get me on the edge of my seat, even though we're standing up today. But we've got to get us off the edge of our seats, and, you know, really, you know, oohs and ahs, and that's what we need. Yeah, as a football fan, that's what everyone wants.
I guess it's another point closer to, you know, that target that you mentioned in terms of trying to stay up at the very minimum. Yeah,
it is, and you know, it keeps other teams below you, which is always pleasing. But we've just got to focus on the next game now, which is going to be a tough game against Walsall. But, you know, we've got a week to prepare for it, and, you know, I think people would have been doing the old maths equation, and thinking, well, Accrington, Gillingham lost to Newport 3-1 last week, and then Accrington beat them 5-1, so 5-0, so that should be 8-1 or 8-0, but that didn't materialise, did it? You know, we know we let ourselves down against Newport. We defended better today. The one thing that is still evidence is how hard the lads work. And again today, they were running on empty at the end, some of them, because they put that much in. You know, Robbie's been carrying an injury for probably since he was born, by the looks of it. And he soldiers through it. Connor, you know, to get as long as we got out of him again today. So yeah, I'm pleased with the effort that we're putting in. I just want a bit more quality.
And just one word on those subs. You know, possibility going forward. Obviously, you know, you've brought Jacob Wakeling in from kind of nowhere. I think he posted a funny thing on his social media that he, you know, arisen from the dead sort of thing to come back and, to get a minute. So yeah, is that a possibility just from his showing today that you might, you know, give him a few more minutes going forward? And obviously, Benny won the free kick as well, didn't he? So.
Yeah, he didn't do himself any harm today, Jacob. Lovely lads as well, by the way. You know, it's been difficult for him, but he's kept going. And I like to see people who keep going get the rewards.
Thanks. You mentioned, didn't you? You mentioned a few times about Max Clark being a poster boy and not giving up when there's an opportunity there, and he's taking it. And boy, he took it today, didn't he? With that chance.
Yeah, he did. And you know, he's a great lad. But we knew he was a great lad from day one, from when we walked into the club. We knew he was a great lad because we knew his appetite in training was good. We went a different way, and then we changed it. And you know, thankfully, we changed it soon enough to get that type of character on the pitch. And in League Two, a lot of it's about character. It is. You'd love to have the flashes of brilliance. You'd love to have the skill that turns a game. But if you've got 11 characters, you've got a chance in this league.
And a few others knocking on the door. Maybe you mentioned Jacob a second ago as well. Others trying to get in because you've been pretty consistent with your team.
Well, we have, and I think you know you got to bed teams in. If you're going to try and build a team going forward, they've got to know each other. When you're chopping and changing, it's virtually impossible. And we were guilty of that early on, so we've settled down a bit now.
And you mentioned you were quite emotional before the game. You were thinking about your parents and stuff like that. That was all about the occasion, was it, today? I mean, that's not something you normally do.
No, it's something I very, very rarely do. I don't know why I did it, but it just felt the time was right. I looked up to the sky, and thankfully, you know, my prayers were answered.
And it must have been nice as well when you turn up to the ground and those banners are still there. I think they've been there all season, haven't they? You and Jimmy.
You know, we've got a lot of friends here. I'd like to go and see some of them after the game for a pint. That would have been hard if we'd have lost. You know, because it gives a terrible perception to our fans, doesn't it? And it is. I wouldn't have gone because it would have been disrespectful for our fans. And I must reiterate, our fans were brilliant today. In the numbers, you know, standing behind the goal, moving from the stands, it excites you. And I'm really, really delighted they got the reward.